Hello BabyQueers and welcome back to my channel. It is time for a subreddit. I forgot if I've actually been to it. And to be honest, we're gonna get frustrated today. But before we get started, let's get hydrated. Grab some tea or some water and then come back. Are you hydrated? Good, let's get started with this mess. Please allow me to educate you, radical left, LGBTQV, XYZ, or whatever you call yourself. No one gave two flips what any of you did with your sex life until you started grooming and targeting our children. Stop blaming conservatives for your bad. Leave your children alone. I love that you put the grooming and targeting in air quotations, like you don't even know what you mean. Because I really don't know what you mean. No one is, well, okay, a lot of people are obviously, but queer people don't go around grooming or targeting cishet kids and trying to turn them queer. We're just trying to inform kids that being cishet isn't the only thing that exists. That does not qualify as grooming or targeting. It's just a, hey, if you are cishet, cool, but you might not be, and that's also cool. How is that grooming? It's almost like tens of thousands of years of human history weren't wrong to push back on these people, and a couple of 20-year-old college kids don't actually know how to run a country better than thousands of years of trial and error. Alright, the slippery slope. If it starts like that, you know it's gonna be good. Let us get married. Bake our cake. Use our pronouns. Allow minors to dance for us in drag. Let teachers choose your kid's gender. I love how I see these arguments by transphobes that apparently teachers are choosing kids' genders and that we're apparently forcing kids to dress in drag if they don't want to. Because I've never actually seen it happen in real life. So yeah, if kids want to do drag because it's an art form and a way to express themselves, who cares? Like, do you see drag as something inherently sexual and that's why you have an issue with it? Because that's not what drag is. Sure, if you're an adult, you can obviously do it in a very sexy way and take pride of doing it in a sexy way. No one's gonna be like, okay, you're a kid, you have to do this. Even if you do drag, you have to do it in a sexy way. What are you doing? You're the one doing toddlers and tiaras and trying to make your little girls look attractive. So, what? And letting teachers choose kids' genders? Yeah, no teacher is gonna be out here being like, okay, Billy, you're not a boy anymore. You're Samantha now. What do you think goes on in classrooms? Come on. You know, I remember when we fought like crazy to keep gays out of school classrooms and as scout leaders. They screamed discrimination and assured us that our children would be safe. We failed to stand firm, so this is where we are now. What is this even referring to? Literally, what? Are you talking about school shootings? Because I'm pretty sure very few of them, if at all, have been actually queer. What are you doing? Yes, literally, I was saying the same thing tonight to my husband. Live and let live was always my motto. Till they started shoving this crap down our kids' throats and pretending it's normal to question your own gender before you even learn algebra. Homeschooling your kids is the only way. What? Okay, because maybe sex education isn't as bad as it was anymore, or because maybe it includes things like, hey, sex between a man and a woman isn't the only thing that's possible, and your sex and your gender might not match up. Which for cis kids, if they're cis and straight, they're just gonna listen to it and be like, okay, cool, whatever, like, I'm cis and straight, it doesn't matter to me. But for queer kids, it's gonna make such a difference, and you're out here pretending like kids hearing something that doesn't represent them is a bad thing? Okay, go homeschool your kids then, I guess. Dear trans community, Don't tell me I have to accept you for who you are when you couldn't accept yourself for who you are. I love this argument. I've seen it so many times. Because it makes no sense. It makes no sense. I think you're coming from the place of, I'm cis and I was born a woman and I identify as a woman, so you being different from me cannot possibly be true. You cannot possibly be born as a woman, but not view yourself as one. And that's just where the argument starts to fall apart, because trans people have always been here. It's always been a thing. And you being butthurt about it and telling us that you don't have to accept us because we don't accept ourselves, it's just dumb. You know? Whisper? I am glad I'm not on Whisper anymore. It's a really weird place. But anyways, you look pretty to me. I would definitely try to pick you up thinking you were a girl. That's flattering. I've never been with a trans girl, but it definitely turns me on. I want to accidentally pick one up and then find out when I'm feeling around. No lie, I want to find out in the heat of the moment, cause then I know I would want to fuck them. And not because I have a trans fetish. Mate, it definitely sounds like you have a trans fetish. It definitely kind of sounds that way. Because you're fantasizing about it. What? And also, I love that's flattering. Because you can just tell she's just waiting to see what happens, but she knows it's not gonna be good. This is the new Call of Duty. No more country flags, only orifice preference flags? Really? Is that what we're calling it now? Okay. Not gonna lie, that's the first I've heard of it. To be fair, I don't play Call of Duty. This is actually true. I think it would kind of be a cool move if they did. Because so many unhinged, insecure people are gonna be upset at it. And also because the straight flag is really just, it's just boring. It just looks boring, I'm sorry. People rarely stay gay after quitting porn. What the? Okay. Just in case you have the misconception and were joking, you're gay or bisexual independent of whether you watch porn. Some people do it because they're bored with straightness. Maybe a highly rare case that I can't understand. Or they were bi-curious. But yeah, just saying. Wrong. How you think people are just gay or bisexual because they were watching porn? How do you come up with this shit? What makes you think that this is true and that this is how it works? I'm confused. Female. Facial features are smaller and close together in the center of the face. Male facial features are larger and widely spread on the face. Imagine a circle of arrows placed in the center of the face and the features being blown outwards. That's interesting. I've seen this argument so many times of, yes, you can very clearly tell by someone's face or something. Guess what? Even cis women and cis men just have so wildly different faces. What are you talking about? Anyways. What? I'm confused. I'm genuinely confused. Because these are the people that go around accusing random women of being a trans woman just because they don't have like the stereotypically masculine feminine frame. Which is so dumb because you literally can't tell. You literally can't tell. Sure, with some people it's very obvious that they're trans. But honestly, A, why do you even care so much? What? Oh my god. And secondly, you really can't. You really can't. Do you know how many trans people pass really well and you will never know unless they tell you? Anyways. Laugh at all the kids having a midlife crisis and respond by deciding to transitions. Kids are so messed up these days. What kind of kids do you meet that go around saying they have a midlife crisis? I made jokes about it, sure. But if you take those jokes serious, that's on you. Because I was just joking about it. If I was like having a hard time, I was like, dude, can't wait to get this midlife crisis over with. Because as a teenager, I just kind of thought it was funny. You know? But honestly, what the hell? That's not what figuring out your gender identity is. And that's not what kind of kids are you meeting? I'm curious. Not always true. Almost every day I hear LGBT members insulting and being prejudiced against white people, as well as Christians, and many elevate their own above others. Not saying they all are that way, but it has a strong presence. Like the thousands of Christians that are super chill and don't shove their beliefs down others' throat, but then the few Christians that are telling random other people they're going to hell just have a really strong presence just because they can't keep their freaking mouth shut. You mean like that? Because yeah, also, being prejudiced against white people. Right. Are queer people gonna call white people out on some random racist bullshit? Or other prejudice they might bring up? Sure, absolutely. But that's not really being prejudiced against white people. Oh well. There are no cis children. There are no trans children. There are just children who should be able to play with their personality and clothes and interests all they like. Kind of agree, actually. Anyways, around 80% of youths who at some point have a gender inconvenience will resolve this spontaneously, usually after puberty, and accept their sex, and sometimes just turn out to be gay. If you transition these kids, you're making a mistake with permanent lifelong consequences. Transition of kids is conversion therapy. Says the people who actually do conversion therapy, which is cishet people. What? I mean, no, obviously there are trans kids and there are cis kids. But honestly, yeah, children should just be able to play with their personality and clothes and interests, regardless of their gender and regardless of whether they're cis or trans. Literally. Agreed. But where are you getting these numbers from again, of 80% who have gender dysphoria, or like gender inconvenience, like you call it? It just kind of dissolves itself. Sure, for some people it might. Like, I had this friend in school who was a woman and she was very like happy with that. But in kindergarten, she would like kind of show up every day to kindergarten and they would ask her if she's, I'm just gonna make up 2 rhymes, if she's Max instead of Kim today. And they would just kind of go with it. But that's kind of the thing, it's kind of cool that they went along with it. And we're just like, okay, you're Max today? Okay, cool. And then called her Max the entire day and, you know, used male pronouns. And I think that's kind of chill. I didn't know kindergarten teachers were that cool back then. But anyways, how do you come up with these numbers of, oh yeah, 80% of people who experience this, they just kind of grow out of it? What? I mean, sure, like a lot of prepubescent kids are uncomfortable with their bodies. And puberty is uncomfortable for everyone, like, yeah. But that's not the same as gender dysphoria, you know? And no one's transitioning kids. Transitioning kids is literally just allowing them to go by a different name and pronouns. And changing their clothes and like... Those things are reversible, what are you talking about? 1965. If the government doesn't outlaw birth control, society will collapse. 2000. If we can't throw people in prison for gay sex, society will definitely collapse. 2008. If gays can marry, society will collapse. Today, if trans people get equal rights, society will collapse for realsies. Any day now. This time for sure. And the little comment on the bottom. Ever heard of the boy who cried wolf? No, but I hope he's not gay. Same. But that's the thing. That's the thing. Is society collapsing? Maybe. Maybe. But it's not really because of queer people. I think we can just agree because it's because of certain billionaires and just big companies just exploiting everything, all the resources and all the workers just to make profit and kind of destroying the environment in the process. And then obviously people are gonna be mad and society might collapse. But that's not really on queer people, you know? I like that you're trying to give us credit for something, but I don't think this is the credit we want to take. Oh my god. I've recently came out as transracial. Since I was little, I just always gravitated towards Asian fashion and Asian TV shows. I'm getting facial Asian surgery soon for my racial dysphoria goes away. Now again, it's Whisper. And I don't even question that people like this actually exist. But honestly, if you want to pay for facial surgery, because guess what? No health insurance is going to pay for that. Go off. Honestly, it's your life, it's your face, do whatever you want. But it's just weird. And I kind of feel like this person, since it is Whisper, probably wasn't even serious. They were just trying to make fun of trans people and be like, see, this is what you sound like. But that's the thing, we can tell nuance, and this is probably not even nuance. This is just weird. She, her, ha ha ha. Yeah, I'm a broad-shouldered, tall, cis woman with large facial features. I'm what they think all trans women look like. If they had their way, I wouldn't be allowed in the women's loo either. Yeah, this is what I mean. You can't tell. You can't tell, because some people, you just go around assuming they're trans, even though they're literally cis, and just have different facial features. And things that you don't associate with being, like, typically female. The same as if you meet, like, any man that's short and has, like, a more, or, like, a smaller face and, like, less broad shoulders. Is he automatically trans, even though he was born biologically male? That's not how this works. That doesn't make sense. Come on. I just went to order coffee at Starbucks, which I usually do not do, and the guy at the cash register asked me for my pronouns for my cup. I said my pronouns are Trump DeSantis. His nose earring damn near fell out of his nasal cavity. It's giving very much, and then the whole Starbucks clapped. Kind of vibes. Dude, I don't doubt that they ask for pronouns in some stores in the US, or like that some baristas ask for your pronouns for your cup as well. But I doubt that he's gonna be that shocked that someone's trying to be funny and make up random words as pronouns. I don't think he's gonna be that shocked. I think he's kinda used to people like you. Trans people aren't political. All they're saying is that they matter. Why do you assume trans people exist? Because they do? Do I need to prove trans people exist? Because I can if you really need me to. What? Okay, this is just funny to me. Why do you assume trans people exist? So you think no one's actually trans, and all this time we've been debating over thin air? Why? Why? What? It's funny. It's funny, I'm so confused, but it's funny. What about this is unbelievable? Do you think kids are too stupid to comprehend being trans? Babies' lives are literally gendered from before they're even born. If they comprehend that lunacy, they were groomed. Because understanding that trans people exist, and that sometimes your gender doesn't match up to your sex, is grooming. See, we're back to the grooming angle. I love how it's just been going on for like the past year. Before that, it was all whatever, we're trying to steal all of, well no, actually that's also still going on. We're trying to steal everything from women apparently, right? And we're trying to stop bots from women and their safety in bathrooms and all that. But now the grooming angle. Okay then. How chases describe a hookup? Someone pulling down someone else's pants. Uno Vervasca. Oh no, not again. I love how this was posted in r/funny memes, because I don't see how it's funny. But anyways, literally, I hate how this makes trans people seem like they do just try to trick people, and as if trans people wouldn't be entirely terrified about their lives, and definitely let someone know they're trans in a public place before a hookup, so they could still have a chance to run away, because you never know how someone's gonna react. As if someone's just gonna keep it secret that they're trans and that they haven't had bottom surgery and just see what happens. You know, that's... Have you met trans people? And also, listen, some people like pegging. You might not. If you don't do it. Communicate that to your partner. But if you like pegging, also communicate that to your partner. You know, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, TikTok Live, let's go. Straight people's safe space. I thought safe spaces are ridiculous. Anyways, open debate, 18 plus to request. Masculinity is under attack. Cis is a slur. Woman, man, an adult human female. Abortion is wicked. Own pronouns equals narcissism. Okay. Okay. Do I comment on each one? No. I'm not even gonna comment on it anymore. But what? Having your own pronouns is narcissism. Okay then. Ah yes, the right way to mess with chasers. Do you ever top any guys? I don't play video games. Huh? Are you a top or a bottom? I don't have bunk beds. Show that ass. I don't have a donkey either. How about a stuffed one? I'm not into taxidermy. Yeah, just play dumb until they give up. Because over Whisper, they're either gonna give up or they're gonna like send you a long ass rant and it's also gonna be funny. If they sent a rant and you didn't post it, I'm kind of sad, please, I want to read it. Transphobes and super straights being the same person. I kinda like how the super... Did it die out or did it just not hear anything about it anymore because it's just the same thing and it just kind of stopped? I don't know, did it stop being a thing or didn't it? But yeah, literally they're the same person. Because the trans people make it their entire world and they want to make it everyone else's world too. You ask who cares? Well, they care. They care way too much. What? I know several trans people, literally the only thing they ask is for you to use the proper name and pronouns. Is that really so hard? For me, it's completely about people wanting to force my participation in their self-image. You do you, but just leave me the fuck out of it. Literally, if someone introduces themselves to you, or if a coworker of yours changes their last name because they got married and then asks you to call them by that different last name, is that also forcing you to participate in their self-image? Because names are inherently also made up, right? So, it's so weird. Literally, you don't have to love trans people. Kind of be better if you did. But honestly, you just have to be a decent human being and call people by the right name and pronouns. Because again, if cis people don't look stereotypically like their gender, and you accidentally misgender them and call them by the wrong pronouns, and they correct you, would you also throw the same fit? Because, oh, you don't look like a stereotypical woman, so I'm just gonna call you by male pronouns. Mate, you don't make sense. You don't make sense. Lol, you say that as they try to get different bathrooms and get kids doing drags. I know trans people too, and they're too up their own butts like vegans. What trans person wants to get kids doing drag if they don't do already? I've literally never seen this outside of transphobic strawmans. Yeah, literally that's kind of this entire sub. It's all that. I don't see the grooming happening, or the forcing kids to be trans, or do drag, or be gay, or anything. I just see people going off about how apparently all trans people are doing it. But I missed the memo. And apparently I'm missing everything else, because I've never seen anyone else do it either. Oh well. Oh well. Okay. Kinda glad that was the last one. Because these people are really good at repeating themselves. These people are really good. Really, really good at repeating themselves. I've seen so many memes that were kind of like essentially the same dumb argument. And a lot of posts being like, yeah, don't read the comment section to this post because it's the same transphobic bullshit over and over. Which is just... It's kind of funny if it wouldn't be so harmful. Like if it was like two people who would just go off on these rants, it'd just kind of be ridiculous and funny. But seeing how, sure, not everyone who makes comments like these is gonna actually act out on their hate towards trans people and actually start abusing or killing trans people. But enough of them do that it's a problem that we're gonna call all of y'all out. Because you even making those comments also just encourages others to be like, see, I'm right, other people think this too. So, I am right in wanting to kill queer people. Mate, just calm the fuck down. Worry about your own life. If you want to homeschool your kids, homeschool your kids. But pretending like everything that's different is inherently dangerous and should be kept away from your kids, it's just sad. That's just sad. Like, we learn about different cultures for a reason, right? Like, we don't learn about different cultures and then pretend like, oh yeah, our church teaches, like, if we do a section on China, like, we did a lot of geography lessons about China. Do you want to stand here and pretend like our geography teacher was trying to turn us Chinese and shove that view down our face or down our throats? Because informing people that certain things exist isn't grooming, it's just teaching and informing. And if you have an issue with that, I don't know what to tell you. Having information or having an education or knowing about things, being seen as a bad thing is very baffling to me. It's very baffling to me. I don't get it. But anyways, I'm gonna stop ranting now, because if I don't, I'm gonna be here for an hour. So I hope you had fun. I hope you didn't get too frustrated, because I kinda did. I'm gonna go drink my water now. I hope you had yours as well. And then I'll be back in 3 days with a video that's quite definitely gonna be less frustrating.